Wow, it's been a while, man. Wow. Well, good early afternoon, early morning, late morning, however you want to drum it up. And it's been a while since Dwayne and myself has been with you guys for a sports show, but it's a lot going on in the off season, a lot going on in our personal lives, and we just haven't had the time. So we're back once again. What's up, Wayne?
Man, listen, I got new furniture. I got a new rug for this kickoff this NFL season.
Let
I'm
us see
wearing
that rug. Let's see that rug. What's the name of that rug?
the name of that rug is the Blue Wave. You know why? You know why? I'm wearing all white. I got the Cowboys hat on. Yes, it's back. It's back, bro.
So
It's back.
how you feeling? Knowing that football season for you, we would say started when college football and high school football came back. Battle of the Beach, your yearly thing. How would you feel going into this NFL first Sunday?
Well, everybody told me, oh, the NFL was back on Thursday. It was, and it was Friday night. But let me tell y'all something. It's nothing like Sunday mornings. I got a nice, crisp walk in. It felt like fall. It felt like football weather. My brother had me jealous because he was up there in the beautiful mountains in Pennsylvania with a scenic walk. I'm in these concrete jungle. No, I'm not in the concrete jungle. I'm in Central Jersey. But my walk wasn't as beautiful as that. Man, game day morning is back on the NFL Network. Yes, plug to my boy Rich Eisen. Me and him feel a little down today because our Wolverines got beat up on by the Longhorns yesterday. But man, I'm with my brother, man, my lifetime brother Quentin, and we gonna hit y'all with more, man. Like we may not do it every week, but every once in a while we gonna pop up on y'all and do this thing like only we know how to do it. Football's back. Y'all don't understand what me and this man do during football season. I'm talking 10 calls a day, sometimes 20 calls a day, talking about them Cowboys, but also talking about the NFL. And y'all also don't know what we do with our brother Craig. We're going on 3 years of every time the
No,
Cowboys is on. 4 years of every time the Cowboys is on. The three of us are on the phone with each other. And we only take a break at halftime and we get back. So we got 425. We got the debut of Tom Brady. I got the battle of number 4 today, Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. I got the return of Zeke. Yeah, y'all don't want to think I'm happy about the return of Zeke. I am. Cedarian Lamb is back.
we're gonna
Maybe better
we
known
gonna
as
call him,
CD.
and I'm gonna say that the brother Vouch Lombardi, big content creator, big cowboy content creator that we know. He named Zeke something that I want to name him, and I think we all should name him. And I want to give it all to Vouch. We're gonna call him A Gap Zeke. And if you don't understand what we mean by that, that's all we want him to do. A Gap Zeke, turn a 1 yard gain into two,
Can I
turn a 2 yard run into three.
can
So
I
so
can I
Dwayne,
stop you? Can I stop you for a second?
go ahead.
Man, this is what football is about. One of B Q's favorite coaches is on with the beautiful Stacey uh, Downs right now on the NFL Network. This brother got his hair slicked back. He has a black leather jacket on and a black shirt. Matt Eberflus. Football's back, man. It's back.
Yeah, for you guys that don't know, Dwayne and myself,
We
what we
love
do, not only do we have we like the same professional team, we love program builders, we love coaches, we love certain coaches. We think that certain coaches and GMs, like not to toot our own horn, but we tried to tell all the people that root for Miami that they was coming. Um, so before we start, Dwayne,
Lions too. Lions
who
too.
who, who you want to say now is coming?
Well, I'm gonna say a player is coming, right? And if y'all want to say, "Oh, you just bandwagon jumping," so be it. I'm most excited about seeing the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie about it. But the second most thing I'm excited for, man, is two things. Okay. One is Caleb Williams in Chicago. I believe the hype is real. I've been following this boy. Following this man since he was in the WCAC, which is a high school conference in the state of Maryland and in the District of Columbia. He played for Gonzaga. My sister was his middle school teacher. You understand what I'm saying? So I've been following this young man for a long time. Oklahoma, USC. So I'm looking forward to him. And then if I could be a little home cooking and biased, man, I am so, so happy. The brother from Irvington, New Jersey, Raheem Morris, gets another opportunity to lead a team. And I'll be rooting for the Atlanta Falcons, except for when they play the Dallas Cowboys.
It's amazing. I was just on the phone with another friend of mine who's a Steeler fan, and I was like, "Who y'all play?" He said Atlanta. I said, "Oh, that's everybody's favorite." Um, One team that I'm gonna say is coming, and they're not gonna do nothing this year. I'm just gonna tell everybody who root for the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm.
Be patient. They got a lot of picks next couple of years. They building something there. Just be patient. That's gonna be my team to for everybody to look at in the next few years. I know for the brothers that root for Chicago, the Terry Brown, the Prinny, the Paul Webb, the Patrick Seals, guys that we know.
Patrick Capers.
Talk about Dwayne. Talk about forget Caleb Williams. Talk about he's paired with a receiver now.
Listen, he's repaired with a receiver, and for my money, the most underrated running back in the NFL. Deontay Swift, man, he wasn't used properly, in my opinion, by the Eagles last year. So you got him. You got DJ Moore, who just got a big contract extension. They really believe in him. So you got him and that Keenan Allen pickup, man. And so you got those gentlemen. You got Johnson. He'll be in his second year out of Texas. Rayshawn Johnson, sorry. The running back who will be there with Deontay Swift. And yeah, man. I mean, I know a lot of people are picking the Bears. Their defense is always good. It's just about that offense. And I think that offense will be clicking. And we have to keep an eye on that Jordan Love injury, man. That's a big injury. They say in 3 to 6 weeks, but we don't really know until he gets back to the United States and gets a true MRI, man. Because if you remember, they said J.J. McCarthy had a slight tear of his meniscus, and he would be out for a couple of weeks. But when they looked at it again and went inside, it was worse than they thought, and he was out for the year. So if there's no Jordan Love for an extended period of time for the Packers, I think the Bears could wrestle control of that division. Now, don't stop the broadcast. And a lot of people clown me for this. I still believe in Sam Darnold. Y'all know I love J.J. McCarthy. Michigan Wolverine, he's a rookie. But I think Sam Darnold has the opportunity to make himself a lot of money this year. He has one last year to go out there and prove to the NFL that he should be a starting quarterback in this league. And I think he should be. And I'm hoping he takes advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, Sam Darnold, given because not Stefanski, what's his name up there in Minnesota?
Kevin O'Connell.
O'Connell could coach, man. He's part of that tree where they make the game real easy. What he did last year after Cousins got hurt was amazing with that team. For some reason, they never give up a lot of fight. They lost a lot of DBs. They wound up signing Gilly Lock, which is a big signing. So we just going to go right in, man, and
we'll get right
take
to
it away, Wayne.
We'll get right to it. Who we starting with?
We're gonna start with hold on. We're gonna start with Pittsburgh, Atlanta.
Pittsburgh,
1 o'clock, Fox.
There's a lot of intrigue in this game, man. There's reports out there that Russell Wilson may not be able to go today. So if he doesn't go, it's going to be a debut of a new starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The question is it going to be number 3, Russell Wilson, or number 2, Justin Fields? And I think that's something that's going to be interesting to watch I think if Russ can't go and Justin Field goes today and he performs very well, how do you go off him next week?
Yeah,
So
this is definitely an interesting game. What's funny is I actually thought Atlanta would have made the play for Justin Fields before they drafted the quarterback and gave Cousins that boatload of money. Atlanta's a very, very interesting team because they've everybody said that they had the good skill position players. They just was waiting for the quarterback, as well as the Steelers. The
mhm,
Steelers have no financial investment in Russ or Fields after this year, so this is a big year for both of them.
right, I
Um,
agree with
and Russell, I think this is Russell's last hurrah. This is it. And
you. Could be, man. The NFL, me and you talk about it all the time. You get old quick in this league. Like you get old quick in this league. You think about this league, man, and you think about who the top quarterbacks are, and you think about how Russ was at the top of that list not too long ago, man. And so now, where is he? Like,
Russ
where does
Russ
he get
Russ
the
had
start?
Russ had a one way ticket, Dwayne, to Canton.
Absolutely.
And now the way that his career is ending, definitely with him not being paired with Carroll anymore, and what Carroll wanted to do, it makes you wonder: did Russell ever know how to read defenses? Like,
It
because when you
does
think
make you
about it,
wonder,
Carroll
right?
just wanted to run the ball, play heavy play action, and made the game easy. And then everybody started this Russ Cook thing, and ever since then, he hasn't been the same.
He hasn't. And you conspiracy theorists out there, ever since they did what they did to Marshawn Lynch in that Super Bowl, where they didn't want him to be the MVP because it was all I'm just here so I don't get fined stuff, and they forced that pass that Malcolm Butler intercepted, and it cost Seattle the Super Bowl. Let's be honest, Russ ain't been the same since then.
Yeah, yeah.
He hasn't. It's
Pittsburgh's defense is really, really interesting. I know they got the linebacker that me and you was looking at, the one that stayed hurt, but he stayed hurt in college. He was probably the best linebacker, but he's an injury prone guy.
mhm.
They got McQueen there. The Steelers are a very, very interesting team. Um, I'm gonna pick the Steelers, Dwayne.
um as I said going into this, I'm rooting so hard for Raheem Morris. And no, we're not related. But he's Irvington. I'm Union Boss Hall. So I'm going with the Falcons just based on that. Kirk Cousins, got Drake London, you got Bijan Robinson, who for my money may be the best young running back in the NFL, between him and Gibbs up there in Detroit. And I have a big question for you, Quentin Ford. I don't know how long you need to contemplate this. Will Kyle Pitts live up to what was projected of him
No,
when he first
no,
came into
no,
this
no,
league?
no way. You know, Kyle Pitts was projected so high it was scary.
Yeah.
And I don't think he could ever live up to it because one thing about a tight ends have to be tight ends have to be paired, lined up perfectly with a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
Jimmy Graham, Drew Brees, Gronk, Aaron Hernandez with Brady. If you ever notice those tight ends, Kelsey with Mahomes, you ever notice tight ends are becoming the quarterback's best friend?
Uh-huh.
And let's be honest, Kirk Cousins is basically on a 2 year deal, no matter what,
Right.
whether he feast or famine. So it may not be long for to have Kirk Cousins to watch Kyle Pitts flourish. So I think it's going to be interesting where their career goes. I mean, they got receivers. Atlanta's a very, very interesting team. I think they're going to be fired up down there. The only reason why I'm picking the Steelers is because I think that the experience to get them. Uh, so I think that the Steelers is going to knock them off.
Yeah. I hear it. I want to see what Kirk Cousins does. Um, this man always seems. I don't know if anybody has. I want to be careful, not say play the NFL like he has, but you tell me which quarterback has maximized their dollar potential better than Kirk
You
Cousins.
know, the funniest thing is that, you know, Everybody don't win a Super Bowl, and that's all Kurt hasn't done. Kurt. Anybody that says Kirk Cousins, it's so funny because sometimes you have no control over the narrative that's created around you. People knock Kirk Cousins for what he can't do. Think about what he can do. He's a baller.
Mm-hmm.
He's a baller. He hasn't been on teams that have won, and he hasn't been around the greatest of talent. So this is like really his legit shot. The next couple of years to really take control of a franchise. The fan base down there will be energized. Kirk,
They will.
anybody that knows anything about Kirk Cousins, man, he really, really endeared himself to the fans up in Minnesota. So they are going to be shocked that he, as a, let's just say it, he's a white guy, and Atlanta's going to love him. They're going to love Kirk Cousins, just like Drew Brees and New Orleans fell in love with each other. Atlanta's going to love Kirk Cousins. So look forward to a good game.
Yeah. So I like the Falcons. You like the Steelers. We on to the next.
Arizona, Buffalo.
Arizona, Buffalo, right? So most people will say that Josh Allen behind maybe Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow is the most skilled quarterback in the NFL. Well, guess what? We're about to find out if that's really true because he does not have Stephon Diggs anymore, and he doesn't have Gabriel Davis. All right. He got Shakur, he got Coleman, who's a rookie. And so we're gonna see what happens with the he don't have the best core of wide receivers in the NFL anymore, man. So he's gonna really, really have to carry this team. I know he has James Cook in the backfield, and he got another running back that I'm forgetting right now. But we're gonna see what Josh Allen brings to the table, man. I'm not saying he ain't great, but this ain't Mark Clayton and Mark Duper that he got out there
Yeah.
at wide receiver, man.
I'm gonna just say it. I just how I feel about Arizona and what the GM and them are trying to do going forward. I just don't think that they stand a chance going up to Buffalo. Buffalo has a lot to prove. Their organization, we're getting, like you said, getting rid of all their defensive players. Milano being out for the season, new receivers. Kenyon Coleman has become the media darling out of Florida State, but he got to play. He got to produce on the field. Josh Allen, who I'd love to say that he's probably one of the most physically gifted throwers of the football that I've ever seen, but he's turnover prone.
Yes.
So it's like you're gonna get with Josh Allen, you'll get 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a fumble.
Yes.
This is who Josh Allen is. A gamer. I have no choice but to pick Buffalo. I just think that Arizona, uh, you know, they're playing the wrong team at the wrong time. The only other time that they get else playing wrong is playing them in the winter, where Arizona do not want to play in this cold, but it's still traveling across the whole country to play a football game.
Yeah, I like Buffalo in this game as well. And just a tidbit for everyone that's watching us. One of Quentin's favorite players will be playing in this game today. If you know, you know. So we'll be looking out for that player. I won't steal his thunder. But
Yeah. For those that don't know, I am a big James Conner fan. I think the world of him as a running back. I think when you look at the way these offenses are with the RPO, when you could run east west and north south, power, speed, pass pro, catch out the backfield. I think James Conner is one of the best all around running backs in the league. And he was, even when he was with the Steelers, but they just got Lev Bell, so they had to get rid of him. So I just think the world of James Conner, and he's been around for a while. He ain't too old, but he's getting up there.
getting up there. So yeah, we both like Buffalo and Buffalo. That's a CBS 1:00 game.
Next game, Dwayne, Chicago and Tennessee.
Man, it's gonna be. Hey, listen, the debut of the new Tennessee Titan head coach, right? So we all know our brother Craig loves his father, and now his father is actually his offensive line coach down there in Tennessee. That's the Callahan family. I'm all over the Bears, man. Like I said, Caleb Williams, Deontay Swift, uh, Moore, Allen. They got a good tight end. They got a good defense. So I like Chicago. I like Caleb in his rookie debut. I'ma say he goes for 350, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's my prediction today for Caleb Williams.
When you look at the program, and like I always say, man, in order to be a football fan, you gotta. To me, a football fan has to respect other teams, have to respect other organizations. One thing I'm gonna say about Tennessee is Tennessee. It puts a smile on my face thinking about the Titans and what they're doing. And a lot of people don't know is that Maurice Carthen's son is the GM, and you know what how he's going to draft and try to build a team. He's going to try to build a team from the lines out. This is old school. This is the Parcells tree. This is how they were taught. And then to pair him with who we call the offensive line Moses, Bill Callahan, coaching under his son now. So you know the line play is going to be interesting. So
Yeah.
you know that Tennessee may not be that good from a skill position right now, but you know that they're going to make the lines are going to be very physical, dirty, a lot of zone blocking, a lot of big linemen. So
And,
give
and
Tennessee some grace. Chicago, it's a lot of expectation there. They playing in Chicago. Chicago, like I said, all eyes are going to be on Chicago. This is going to be Evilfuss, who Dwayne and myself we both like, but this is Evilfuss's last hurrah. He's had 3 quarterbacks now, and
yeah,
most guys are not able to develop this amount of quarterbacks before they get the boot. I look
it's
forward to seeing them today, and I'm expecting a lot out of what Chicago is able to do, and really like make their mark.
and to your point, man, Rand Carthon drafted J.C. Latham with the first pick. Now, was offensive line a dire need for the Tennessee Titans? Most people would say no, but as you said, for the style of football that they want to play, it was between him and who went to the Chargers. Another team, Jim Harbaugh, we'll get into that later. But there's just a different style of football. And this style of football that Tennessee wants to play, it works in any type of weather. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. Again, I like the Bears, and full disclosure, I am not a Will Levis fan. I know there are a lot of people that are. I know a lot of scouts went crazy over him. But folks, I watch college football. I watch a lot of college football. And I've never been this big of a listen, this kid had to transfer out. Okay. He transferred because he couldn't beat out a quarterback that's never gonna sniff the NFL. So I'm not a big Will Levis fan. Yeah, he did some things at Kentucky, but remember he had to leave Penn State, man. He couldn't win that job.
One
So
thing I think that why you're not a Will Levis fan is that because of that, and I think the whole mayonnaise thing, it kind of like you're not with that weird stuff. And Dwayne, I remember when he got drafted, you was like, oh, I don't know about this, and he actually surprised us. It's funny how we saw him and me and you saw Burrow, and that's the next game we'll discuss.
mhm.
Sometimes that translation from college to pro doesn't work. And then you'll see a guy that's mediocre in college. And then when they get to the pros, they just get it. Uh, I think one of the things that Will Levis benefited from was the level of competition that he had at both programs. Playing football in that Big Ten, playing football in the SEC, it's not easy.
Very true.
So you dealing with so many different programs in those conferences, it may have prepared them. Like I said, Tennessee is going to make it very easy for them. They're going to Tennessee is going to be patient. Bill Callahan, me and Craig always mess with Dwayne about it. Just wherever he goes, line play, all the
Yeah.
way back from when he was the offensive line assistant head coach at the Raiders, Dallas, Washington. He was the line coach recently of Cleveland. Some older coaches just have a specialty, and that's what he do.
Mhm. So I see we got a few comments in there. Did you check out the comments?
Yeah, Chanita was talking about Will Levis here when she said no, it wasn't needed. No, she was talking about the lineman Latham. No, it wasn't needed. It confused me with the pick.
Yeah, but as we said, this is the style of play that the Callahans want to play and Rand Carthon want to play. That all weather type of football. But yeah, I like the Bears. I think you like the Bears as well,
Yeah, the
right?
Bears too.
Okay. So then you said what? Patriots Bengals is next, right?
Patriots Bengals.
The debut of Gerard Mayo as the head coach of the Patriots. He has a very, very, very tough challenge replacing a coach like Bill Belichick. You're only as good as your quarterback in this NFL. I'm sorry. And we saw that. Bill Belichick is a great coach, no doubt about it. But it looked a heck of a lot different when QB 12 was not in controls in New England. So they have the young fella Drake May, but they're not starting him. They're gonna go with the old veteran that's been shopped around, been in a lot of places. Jacoby Brissett. Um, the talent level at New England is just not good, man. You know, Bill Belichick's mentor, the great Bill Parcells, once said, if they're going to ask you to cook, they should allow you to pick the groceries. Well, Bill Belichick didn't do too great of a job, you know, picking the groceries. And if you look at the GM of the Houston Texans, who was in that New England uh, organization. If you look at what he's done since he left New England and how he's built Houston, it's pretty amazing. Nick Casario. But back to this game, does Jamar Chase play? You know,
Yeah,
he had
that's an interesting thing.
he had that hold in, not a hold out, but a hold in.
To add on to your Bill point, I heard it this week, and I didn't really look at it when the person said it, but now more and more, Bill Belichick's career with New England towards the end is so reminiscent of Tom Landry's end of his career in Dallas.
Sure.
Coaches who are very great, innovative, have a lot of influence on the franchise, but perhaps Bill didn't listen to quote unquote his subordinates enough because everybody that leaves him that has an opportunity to draft well. Um, I think that New England and another team that we'll discuss a little later, New England might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. And it won't be from a coaching standpoint. It'll be from a personnel standpoint. They just don't have it. They just do not. Let me tell you, anybody that has hated or disliked Tom Brady and New England Patriots, this will be your time to gloat for the next few years because this team will be bad, bad. I won't be surprised if we hear Robert Kraft will be trying to sell his team. They're going to be that bad in the next few years. They just do not have any talent. Cincinnati, on the other hand, you have an owner who has stepped into something interesting. He's been notoriously cheap. However, he has bright stars on his team. And one player, like Dwayne said, Jamar Chase, the reports is that he just wants a penny more than his friend Justin Jefferson. That's it. He just wants a penny more. He don't want no a quarter more, millions more. He just want a penny more than his friend Justin Jefferson got paid. The issue comes in that he's 2 years out of his deal. And Mike Brown said he ain't going to negotiate. So he's been sitting in. Every game day is his decision. And I really think Jamar Chase deserves to get paid. I think he's one of those top five guys. I think he's going about it the wrong way at the end of the day. I think he should wait a year. I don't think 2 years, even what Big Boy just did out in 49ers, you got 3 years left on your deal. You holding your team accountable after you. I can see 1 year left on your deal, but you got 2 years left on your deal, and you understand that it's a lot of guys that got to get paid on your young roster. But this should be a boat race. Bengals should just blow the doors off of New England.
They should, but remember, this is still in the league where they play for pay.
But
So there's some
also we need to watch for Barrow. Barrow's just coming back after another injury, and
Slim
this
Shady.
is two now. This is two major injuries in his career.
Slim Shady.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's sticking with the blonde hair. So, but this is two major injuries to his career, and he doesn't want to fall into that path of being called injury prone.
absolutely.
Next, we got
I
Houston
like the Bengals.
Colts.
Houston Colts. The Houston Texans. Every analyst's darlings. CJ Stroud is going to be the MVP. A lot of people are saying the Texans are going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not buying it. I think they're extremely talented. You know how I feel about Will Anderson. You know how I talked about him on draft day. You know I love Joe Mixon. You know I love them. CJ Stroud's really good. You add Diggs to the mix with Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, somebody that we know very well at tight end. So they look ready and they look primed to go. You know, D'Amico Ryans is a very exceptional head coach. So, you know, I'm going with Houston on the road. I will. I like to see how Anthony Richardson plays. If they hold him back a little bit because of the injury that he had last year, the Colts have Pittman. They have arguably one of the top running backs, if not the top running back in the league, and JT jerseys on. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
I, I,
But
I
I'm going with you.
find this game in that particular division, AFC South, to be the most interesting divisions in football. I think they're the most outside of the AFC North, who all four teams could go to the playoffs. This division is the division where the top team can finish last and the last can finish top. Um, I thought if you would have told me last year that Jacksonville was not going to win this division, I would have looked at you like you were crazy.
Absolutely.
Houston surprised everybody, and now they're everybody's darling. They have talent all over the field. But one thing in the NFL is hard to duplicate chemistry. So it's going to be interesting what they produce. The Colts, listen, Dwayne, me and you had a conversation this week about Ryan Ballard.
Chris
The
Ballard.
GM, he makes a lot of mistakes, and he's not being held accountable for a lot of mistakes. But he's a very good GM. He has an eye for talent. The Colts are loaded. If you look at their team and you look at their
Yeah.
coaching staff, if Anthony Richardson shows any type of improvement, the Colts could be a dangerous team. They got decent receivers, like Dwayne said. They got an excellent running back out of Salem, New Jersey. So the Colts could be a very interesting team, but I'm gonna pick Houston to win this game. Um, I think Houston still has a lot to prove in this league. I don't think it's going to be no cakewalk for them to repeat.
Yeah, let me just say this, man. One bold prediction coming out of this game for the Indianapolis Colts. If he stays healthy, and this young man battled a lot of injuries and what have you throughout college. But Latu will be the defensive rookie of the year if he stays healthy.
Yes. Next game, Dwayne. The battle for the Sunshine State. Jacksonville, Miami.
Okay, there's some breaking news off this game that's just been reported. Star wide receiver Tyreek Hill was detained by the police this morning from a minor car accident, but they detained him. So I don't know what that could be all about. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, said he will play. He does plan to play. He was detained. I believe, not 100% sure, but I believe he's either been released already or he will soon be released. Hey, man, it's a 1 o'clock start and it's 11 o'clock. So I really hope he was released and is already at the stadium. I hope everything works out for Tyreek. I don't know how much of a distraction that will be for him to play in this game today after being detained by the police. But let's be honest, there's always something with Tyreek Hill. off the field. We know what he does on the field. And with all that I just said, I like the Dolphins today. I like the Dolphins today big.
It's funny when Dwayne and I do our sports picks, and we never do a pre-production. You guys, everything we do is generic. I don't be knowing. Me and Dwayne will watch the games while we're on the phone together. He'll watch it. He might watch a specific game. I might watch a different game, or watch the same game. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm picking Jacksonville. I'm picking Jacksonville, and I'll be honest with y'all. I'm picking Jacksonville because I think last year wasn't supposed to happen the way it happened for Jacksonville. I love Doug Peterson. Y'all know I'm a Cowboy fan, but Doug Peterson not coaching in the NFC East for me was a godsend because he's an excellent coach. I think he develops quarterbacks properly. I think he develops quarterbacks nice and slowly. I think him and Sunshine rekindle what they started. They're loaded at the skill positions. Um, I think they're going to be interested. I think Calvin Ridley have another year on this belt is going to show people. I really think Jacksonville is going to be tough. And like Dwayne said, with the breaking news, you would think, and I know Tyreek Hill is a gold jacket guy, and he's revolutionized the position because Tyreek Hill, he's so fast and so dynamic that he has to be accounted for by the whole defense. He's one of these rare athletes where at any given time he could just explode. But when you look at Miami, and I must say that I really like the GM, they're just missing something. It's something about Miami that they're missing. I think that's going to take them to the next level. But I'm gonna pick Jacksonville. Yeah, Shanita, you should watch Jacksonville a little bit more, man. They got Etienne. They got a really good team. Dwayne knows how many good players they got on that team ever since Urban Meyer disappeared.
Hey man, there's two things. There's a lot of things I like in this life, right? But two of them is football and fine looking women, man. So I just got distracted because Cynthia Freeland and Colleen Wolf is on the NFL Network right now on my TV, and they both look pretty damn good today. So call me your typical man. I love football and women, man. So I got a little bit distracted. But Shanita, man, yeah, keep tapping in. Like, yeah, watch these what? Listen, man. Do I think Trevor Lawrence is worth the money he was given? It's what the market is giving right
Highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now.
now. It's what the market is giving right now. Hopefully, before 425, the market will be reset when Rain Dakota is re-signed by the Dallas Cowboys. But damn, I had to turn the TV off, man. I'm sorry.
Next up, Dwayne, we got Carolina, New Orleans.
Uh, the debut of the new head football coach in Carolina, Coach Canellis. I think I said that right, Coach Canellis. Um, against the coach that I like the least in the NFL. How Dennis Allen got this Saints job and how Dennis Allen is a coach in the NFL, I will never understand. I don't like him. Okay, him and Derek Carr didn't do anything good together when they was with the Raiders. This guy is a retread that didn't deserve to get the job that he get. Listen, I don't want to see anybody get fired, especially in the society that we're in today. But I don't trust him. I want Bryce Young to have a bounce back year, and this his sophomore season in the NFL. Tepper as an owner scares me. I mean, he got a lot of money, but he scares me as an owner because I think he's going to stick his nose in some things that he has no business sticking his nose in. You know what? I'm gonna take the road dog. I'm gonna take the Carolina Panthers.
See, sometimes when you communicate with a friend of yours, you sometimes know what they're thinking. Let me explain something to you guys about why Dwayne can't stand Tepper. Dwayne once told me, probably 4 or 5 years ago, he said the one thing about these hedge fund guys is that they'll buy these franchises, and yes, they will put money in their franchises, but they have no patience. They meddle. They meddle. So if you understand what happened when Temper bought that team from Jerry Richardson, He's been meddling since day one. He's been meddling since day one.
And folks,
He's
I'm
the reason
speaking.
why CJ Stroud.
Yeah, and I'm speaking from experience,
Yeah,
folks, because
Dwayne is a Met fan, and
I'm
that's
a
what
Mets
happened.
fan.
The Mets got bought by the hedge fund guy.
Yeah,
So
I'm Steve.
Carolina, you guys, that is the team that I have deemed the worst team in the NFL going into this year. I don't think they stand a chance playing in that dome today. I just don't see it. I don't see it in Bryce Young. I don't see, with all due respect, they trade Burns to the Giants. Why? I don't know. I just think that Temper is going to continue to hemorrhage money because he can't. When you have guys that are so successful, and we know that all these owners outside of Green Bay are owned by people who are successful outside of football.
Absolutely.
But sometimes when you buy a sports team, your fan and your wanting to win allows you and it mars your thinking of not getting a football guy,
Hmm.
football people to come in and run your franchise. We
Yeah.
see it over and over. And I just think that Carolina's owner, he'll give money to the community. He'll spend money on his players. He's not shy.
No.
Right now he's paying 3 coaches.
Yeah. And you know what? I think Dan Morgan is a great football mind. So if Tepper stays out the way, I think Dan Morgan can build it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. What college did Dan Morgan go to, Dwayne?
Other you, who right now?
So for me, you guys, for me, it's hard to criticize Carolina knowing their GM was a linebacker for the college team I root for. And I do agree with you, Dwayne. Dan has made some really good moves there.
Yeah,
I
he he,
just think
he
at the
did a
end of the day,
salary dump. He did a salary dump with Burns. He knew
yeah,
Pepper wasn't going to pay him, so he tried to get something for him. But you're never truly going to get true value. Um, another bit of breaking news before we go on to the next game. Okay, I know Q likes the Saints big. I like the Panthers to pull up a upset, a miracle in Nolans. So another breaking news is Chase looks like he's gonna play, but he's gonna be on like a 20 to 25 snap pitch count. That's not a lot of snaps.
you guys, for the sake of time, we're not going to address. We're gonna have a show, you guys, soon, probably before week 3, where we'll address things that are going on in the league. Chase Young has been somebody that has had. He's just like Jadavian
Oh, did I
Clowney,
say Chase Young? I meant Jamar Chase. My bad.
Jamar Chase. Oh, Jamar Chase is on the pitch count. Okay,
Yes,
just
my
talking
bad.
about Chase Young because we talked about how Chase Young has a bunch of talent, and you were on that game.
Yeah. So yeah, Chase Young is somebody I'm still looking out for. To be honest with you, I was hoping he would fall to the Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie, I still believe in the young fella. So we'll see, man.
The
So
next
what do
game, Dwayne,
we have 1 o'clock game left, right?
Minnesota and the New York Football Giants.
Well, listen, man. I'm excited about the debut of number one, man. Hey, listen. When you take a jersey number out of retirement and give it to somebody, like they got the blessing of the family, but I just don't believe retired numbers should be unretired and given to someone. So they did that for this young man, Malik Neighbors, man. He's gonna be wearing number one. Um, I think he's a supreme talent. I think he has the talent where he could be the rookie of the year. Um, I have no faith in Daniel Jones. Can I say it again? Let me get closer. I have no faith in Daniel Jones at all. None. But with that said, I'm picking the Giants today.
I,
I'm picking the Giants.
I'm going to say this about the Giants. I had an extreme amount of the Giant way. We grew up North Jersey. We grew up as kids where the NFL, for those that don't remember, the NFL had to step in and they had to basically have the Mara family hire George Young to come
Yeah.
fix the New York Giants because at that time the Giants was not making no money in the biggest market in the world. George Young comes to the Giants and he rebuilds that franchise, one of the oldest franchises in football, all the way down to Jerry Reese. A lot of people disrespected Jerry Reese. Jerry Reese went out as a winner. Um, I don't know about the Giants with this Daniel Jones. The Giants have a very, very good defense on paper. Their defense should be interesting. Having Burns with Dexter Lawrence, and hint, hint, Dexter Lawrence is the reason Dwayne hung up the phone on me. But
Then Thibodeau.
when you in Thibodeau, and when you look at the Giants receivers, excellent, excellent receivers, excellent skill positions. But the problem with the Giants is going to continue to be Daniel Jones. They made an investment in Daniel Jones last year that is still eye rolling. You chose, and Dwayne and I, you guys, it's funny that they're playing against Sam Darnold, because when the Giants drafted Saquon, Dwayne and I were like, they should have drafted Saquon. And the reason why had nothing to do with Saquon. It was, you should have drafted your quarterback before you drafted your running back. However, the Giants did it different. And the Giants last year chose to not pay Saquon, to pay Daniel Jones. We all know, man, he's a hell of an athlete. I mean, he does these RPOs. You got to account for him. But his turnovers, preseason is a way to get the kinks out. But that preseason interception he thrown, and I know a lot of Giant fans. Shanita's a Giant fan. Poor investment, like she said. I'll be honest with you. That interception that he threw in the preseason was scary.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary. Another bold prediction: Darius Slayton will not be on the New York Giants come November, December. They'll trade him. They'll get some value for him. My concern with the Giants, and I do like the Giants at home today. I do. My concern is Daniel Jones going to be trying to force the ball to Neighbors? Is he going to do that?
My bold prediction is Gilly Lock is going to get him.
There's a new 26 in town, in the swamp. His name is Devin Singletary. So I'm curious to see how this running back position looks for the Giants. Everybody's used to seeing 26, but we saw him on Friday night in Brazil. So what will the running game look like for the Giants? Hey, listen, man, the Giants have been trying to fix their offensive line for years. I think Andrew Thomas is a really good left tackle. I think Evan Neal has to step his game up at right tackle, and the young center, year 2, has to be better. Their center has to be better year 2. But with all that said, with their defense, with Sam Darnold being a Minnesota Viking quarterback until he proves it, what is God, I just drew a blank. What is number 33 for the Packers last year? Now he's with the Vikings.
Jones.
Aaron Jones. What is he going to look like in that running attack in Minnesota? They still have that other back that they chose to keep over Dalvin Cook. So Big Blue Wrecking Crew in the Meadowlands at MetLife. I like the Giants today.
Yeah, it's almost funny because, to be honest with you guys, because of where we grew up at, because of how we grew up as fans of WFN radio and ESPN radio, and being 5-6 miles away from the Giant Stadium, we can do a show on the Giants, and I think that the Giant fans would appreciate 2 Cowboy fans being able to do a show on the Giants. I just don't trust them. They've given me no reason to pick them in this game. Like Dwayne said, they got it all. They got all the skill positions, but that one position is so scary and unpredictable. I could see the Giants winning this game 40-34, where he throws 5 touchdowns and he throws 3 picks, 2 pick sixes. I mean, Daniel Jones will give you a first half of like, wow, he could be the MVP. In the second half, you'll be like, how did he make it to the NFL? I'm worried about him. I would love to see these young corners of the Giants having to cover Justin Jefferson. I think it's going to be interesting. I just don't trust the Giants enough to pick them against Minnesota. I just don't. Like Shanita said, one thing about the Giants that's interesting, right? And this is the most fascinating thing about football. The Giants won a Super Bowl in 2011. After they lost that Super Bowl, they won that Super Bowl, the Giants decided to go in a different direction with their line. Ever since then, the Giants have drafted great linemen coming out of college. But for some reason, these linemen have not translated to the NFL game, which is the most amazing thing I've ever seen because this was a team built Snead, O'Hara, all these good linemen for years. And then they've drafted all these linemen for the last 10 years and just their line just is not holding up. Their center coming out of college was really good. He's a Minnesota kid, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, he is. Really
Really
good.
good. But for some reason, they just, the linemen just haven't fanned out well.
Yeah,
So next, Dwayne, I got to pick Minnesota.
but
You got something
before
else?
before we move on to the next game, more on the breaking news out of Miami. He was temporarily detained. He was released, but some of his teammates saw what was going on and they pulled over and came on the scene as well. So again, I don't know if this is going to be a major distraction for the Dolphins, but it's not ideal that multiple players were on the side of a road for a traffic situation with their star player. So now Drew Rosenhaus is making the rounds on TV to defend his client. So I got the volume down, of course, because we're doing this show. But it's something interesting, man. An hour and a half before kickoff.
And let's make no mistake. What we understand is that Tyreek has been good since he's been in the NFL, allegedly. But Tyreek has had issues. Tyreek had issues coming out of college. I believe Tariq is a good guy, means well, but sometimes you just got to know how not to be in caught up. They're at home, so I get to the stadium, but I don't even want to talk on it because I don't know what's going to happen. But on to our first 4 o'clock game.
Okay.
Las Vegas, Los Angeles. The Rams.
I'm gonna spend 2 seconds on this because I know you already said who you feel is the worst organization in the NFL. And I believe it's the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't trust their owner, Davis. It bears watching. Devontae Adams is not a happy camper, man. He signed with the Raiders thinking his boy from college, Derek Carr, was going to be there. Doesn't seem like he's sold on Minshew or O'Connell. So I think the Chargers under Jim Harbaugh go in there and beat the Raiders by at least 17 today.
I think the Chargers going to boat race them. I think the Chargers going to destroy them. I think that Jim Harbaugh is going to make a statement for the league. I think he's going to have Herbert under control. I think that defense is going to be flying all over the place. I think we're going to see the return of Joey Bosa. Last year was Khalil Mack's year, whether people realize Khalil Mack led the league in sacks, but I think we're going to see the return of Joey Bosa and Derwin James. People got to understand that the Chargers have probably been loaded more than any team the last few years. The Raiders, like you said, is an interesting team. I think the Raiders might be one of them teams by week 7, week 8, where NFL teams are just going to come and try to pick their players away. The worst position in football to be in is to not have a quarterback, you guys. The worst position for any football team to be in is to not having a quarterback because you could be competitive enough where you could not be in that top 15 to not get a quarterback, and then you could be in a position where you could get a quarterback. We're just going to focus on all the games, then we'll discuss some stuff after Shanita when we get done through this.
Yep.
Next game, Dwayne. Seattle, Denver.
Um, I like Seattle in this game. Um, I'm not sure about Bo Nix. He's an older rookie quarterback. He's a young man that started his career at Auburn and then transferred to Oregon. Um, Denver took a big hit. They're eating the majority of Russell Wilson's contract just to get him out of there. Um, no more Judy out there. Um, hey man, a lot of people want to talk about the greatness of Sean Payton, and we're gonna see what that's all about. But I can't pick the Broncos today. I just can't do it. Gino out there in Seattle. Um, I love coaches and I love culture, and I think Mike McDonald is going to prove to be one of the great young coaches in this game. He's part of the Harbaugh tree. Was out there with John in Baltimore, and then when Jim was in Michigan, he needed somebody to help him turn that Michigan program around. John Harbaugh told him, "Come get Mike McDonald," and then John Harbaugh quickly took him back. They have Aiden Durant, who's their defensive coordinator, former defensive line coach of the Dallas Cowboys. They got Jay Harbaugh from the Harbaugh family to run their special teams. I love their offensive line. I am a big Zach Charbonnet fan and a Walker the Third fan. My favorite position is the cornerback position. I think with Witherspoon and Woolen that they have two of the best young corners in this game and a great duo there. Um, and we have more breaking news. Rain Dakota Prescott has signed a 4-year, $240 million contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go. Dak's my quarterback.
Dwayne,
Yes.
I'm just going to say, because we're doing a show, it's the second time I've been right with this.
It is.
Okay. Denver, Sean Payton rebuilt their offensive line. Bo Nix, they cannot win in Seattle today. Dwayne laid out everything about Seattle or why you would like Seattle. Anybody that has heard me speak in the last 5 years know that I love John Schneider. I think John Schneider is the best GM in all of football. I think John Schneider knows how to pick them. Seattle is loaded. Seattle, even if Gino was to get hurt, I think Sam Howell would be the perfect quarterback to step in Seattle. They got two running backs. They're loaded, you guys. They're receivers. JSN in another year. Seattle is going to be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFL, and they're loaded. And, I don't think that Denver's going to stand a chance. Seattle should blow them out. I'll do a prediction 31-10. Tampa. Oh, next game, Dwayne, that pops up. Cleveland, Dallas. You want mute, Wayne?
We're going to wait on that one. Is there another 4 o'clock before?
Yeah. Tampa Bay, Washington.
Tampa Bay, Washington. The Dan Quinn era gets underway in the nation's capital. Ken, I'm biased. I got that jersey bias, so I love a coach from Irvington. I gotta love a coach from my rival Elizabeth Minutemen, right? Todd Bowles, and I was glad he got another opportunity. Very interested to see Jalen Daniels in Washington. Of course, Washington has some players that I love, like Dorrance, Armstrong. They got Dante Fowler. They got some of these old Cowboys, and they also have a player that's going to be all over the field. Frozen Agent Zero, Mikey Sanderstrill from the national champion Michigan Wolverines. So I like him a lot. But I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their home opener. And so we're going to do that. Yes.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I think them retaining Todd Bowles says a lot about that team. I'm glad that they retained Todd. I think Baker Mayfield, another year with that team is going to be interesting. Um, I think that we know DQ better than anybody. I think it's going to take DQ is going to have that defense fired up. But DQ, one thing about that defense is they have to have the lead. We know that defense in and out. DQ has an issue with stopping the run. All Tampa Bay is going to want to do is run the football and play action. I know that DQ got two good defensive tackles there, but I think it's going to be interesting. I think them not having Jahan Dotson in the locker room is going to affect that team a lot. So I'm picking Tampa Bay as well. We can go to the night game, and then if you want to do the Dallas game last, we can do the Dallas game. Los Angeles Rams against Detroit.
Uh, Detroit, Dan Campbell, he's still biting kneecaps and ankles and everything else. Uh,
The return of Matt Stafford.
yes, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, I love him. He's one of my fantasy wide receivers. As I said earlier, I love Jahmyr Gibbs, their running back, and he will be playing. Um, can I say Penei Sewell may be one of the best, if not the best lineman?
You said one of them. I had to frown at you. He is one of the best lineups.
Yes, yes.
Penei Sewell, you guys, he plays right tackle, but literally Penei Sewell could probably play all five positions and be an all-pro.
Yes, and so I also love Aiden Hutchinson. We all know that. Go blue. But I joke, but I love Dan Campbell. I love his staff. Every once in a while, me and Quentin Ford try to find a team that we think is on the rise. Listen, there was a slogan that said, "We're coming." No, they're here. The Detroit Lions are here, and I like the Lions tonight on Sunday Night Football. I like them to win this game. It's hard to duplicate what they did, but I believe in their general manager. I believe he's in lockstep with their coach. I believe if Dan Campbell handled himself a little bit differently in that NFC Championship game, I believe they would have been in the Super Bowl. So I am all on Detroit tonight.
Well, it's funny. For my cousin Tiff, who's a diehard Detroit fan, man, I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking the Rams because I know how much, and I know that the Ford family is into cars, but that's the house that Stafford built.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford, I don't think most people really understand. Matt Stafford's numbers are just out of this world. He just never had an opportunity to win. And when he went to the Rams and he was healthy, he won the chip. Matt Stafford, listen, you guys, and I know it's a lot of skill position teams, but a healthy Nakua with this receiving corps,
yes,
the Rams are loaded on offense. The Rams would be very interesting. I just think that Stafford is just going to go in there and do what he do. I think it's going to be interesting what happens. I think the Rams is going to knock them off.
Hey,
Dwayne,
bro.
now you could discuss.
Well, wait a second, bro. Wait a second, man. The NFL is so amazing, y'all. Like, so amazing. There's been more breaking news before the kickoff, 1:00 kickoff, than I've ever remembered in my life today. You got Tyreek Hill being detained. You got Jahmyr Chase saying he's going to be active, but he's not happy that a deal wasn't reached. Okay. Of course, you got the Dak Prescott, which we'll get into it. But more breaking news. Do you want to venture a guess?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Well, they will not let Russell cook today because he's inactive. And Justin Fields will be making his Pittsburgh Steelers debut as the starting quarterback.
Hour and a half before game time. Yeah, that's when they got to announce it.
Oh, and on top of that, it has come out that Jordan Love will miss multiple weeks.
Did they make a play for Ryan Tannehill?
I think they do. Right now, Malik Willis is their starter, and I don't think they're gonna do that. I think you will see that. But the biggest news, man, is we have a new highest paid player in the NFL, and his name is Rain Dakota Prescott.
Explain the contract from what they're saying.
It is a 4-year, $240 million deal with an $80 million signing bonus. So if you think it puts the Dallas Cowboys in salary cap, heck, I won't use the other H word. It doesn't. It actually helps them on their books to extend them and extend them now. Listen, you're going to hear a lot of people say he's not worth $60 million, okay? Are any of these people really worth what they get? Are you telling me Trevor Lawrence is worth $55 million? Yeah, Dak Prescott has to prove in the playoffs that he could take this team to the next level. They go into Cleveland today, right? The most important matchup in this game today, okay, is going to be number 60 of the Dallas Cowboys against number 95 of the Cleveland Browns. Number 60 for the Dallas Cowboys is a rookie left tackle out of Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton, against number 95, who, for my money, is the best pass rusher in football, Myles Garrett. Now, you see, we're Cowboy fans, but we're unbiased because most Cowboy fans will tell you that Micah Parsons
Do you
is
think
the
he's the
best.
best pass rusher or defensive player?
Both. I'm big on Myles Garrett. So, but I believe that Guyton could do a pretty decent job, and I think Mike McCarthy will do some things to help him. Got the return of Ezekiel Elliott. Listen, Quentin Ford knows this better than anybody, and he will tell you.
Don't call him that, please.
What?
It's called A Gap Zeke.
Okay, no. But Quentin Ford will tell you that I handle this player in particular with kid gloves more than any player in the NFL. I love Deshaun Watson as a quarterback, the other number 4. So we're going to see what happens with him. But no Willis, and Conklin is a game-time decision. So that Cleveland Browns offensive line is a little beat up.
And no Chubb.
And no Nick Chubb, and we do have number 11. Okay? It'll be interesting to see how Kevin Stefanski, if he lines Amari Cooper up on Kalen Carson, a.k.a. Seatbelt. This is the last time you will hear me call him Kalen Carson. He will forever be known as number 21 of the Dallas Cowboys, Seatbelt. Okay? Yes. So it'll be interesting to see how they scheme that up. Right now I'm wearing a white sweatshirt by 425 in honor of his contract extension today. I will be wearing the white number 4 because Ray Dakota Prescott will celebrate this contract extension by beating the Browns outright.
Dwayne, it's so many factors going into this game. I know, speaking from the Cowboys, from the overview that I have for them going in, is I'm very optimistic with this year. We all know, like you pointed out, the most interesting matchup is going to be number 60, Tyler Guyton, going against arguably probably the best and most premier defensive end. He's excellent against the run, excellent pass rush, can line up on the left side, right side, 3 technique, all over the place. Myles Garrett, who has lived up to expectation, which was funny when he first came out. A lot of people said that he wouldn't live up to expectation, but he has lived up to expectation. One of the most interesting things, and the Cowboys is getting Diggs back after his ACL. They got the young number 21, whose nickname is Seatbelt, so we'll be surprised. Can he turn that Seatbelt moniker into Seatbelt in the NFL? One of the things that I'm going to say about the Cowboys, traditionally the Cowboys do not play well on natural grass, which is interesting because they try to use their speed on that turf to beat teams. They try to boat roast teams. I think the receiver DB matchups on both teams is good. And one thing that I'm gonna say about the Cowboys, and most people that don't watch the Cowboys won't understand what I mean when I say this. The Cowboys got linebackers now. We had no linebackers. Damon Clark was the only linebacker that we had. The Cowboys got linebackers. Dwayne is big on number 13. You'll see him today over Sean. Dwayne has been big on him since he was in Texas, basically playing safety and linebacker. He tore his ACL last year, bulked up. Kendricks is in the middle. Leah Fowle. The Cowboys got linebackers. They haven't had linebackers for 4 years. The linebacker position has been in flux. Go ahead, Wayne.
Number 18.
Oh, yeah.
Clark. You will see the true goodness of Damone Clark this year because he's finally going to play the position he's been suited for since day one. He has always been a Sam linebacker. He has never been a middle linebacker. There are special numbers in college football programs at different places. 7 is usually a big number at LSU. You know, the Honey Badger has worn it. Fournette wore it. Patrick Peterson wore number 7. The list goes on and on. But number 18 has special significance in Louisiana State University football program. That is a number that Damone Clark wore at LSU. And in his time in the NFL, he wore a number that I didn't think he should have. I don't think anybody on the Dallas Cowboys should ever be number 33. That should be reserved for the great Tony Dorsett. But now he's back in 18 for Dallas. And I think you're going to see the true goodness of Damone Clark as a football player this year. I'm excited about what Zimmer's going to do with number 11, Micah Parsons. I think you'll see him all over the field today. I'm excited about the return of Trayvon Diggs. I'm excited that we locked up Prescott and we locked up CeeDee Lamb, and we will lock up Micah Parsons. His time is coming as well, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the NFL. I'm excited to watch my Dallas Cowboys at 425, and I hope we come away with a road victory on today. I'm really looking forward to seeing how 21 performs. I'm looking forward to see how 35 Lua Fowle performs. I'm interested in seeing how number 56 BB. Listen, we got 2 rookies. Cowboys got 4 rookies starting today.
That'll be a team record.
A center, left tackle, corner, okay, and linebacker. Those is big positions. Okay, you might as well say Overshawn is a rookie. Because he is. He didn't play last year. So this is his rookie season. So you got him. Will you have the bounce back for Mozzie Smith and Luke Schoonmaker? How will Brandon Cooks look? How will Jalen Tolbert look? Man, listen, I did not want Dak Prescott playing on a lame duck year. Again, you are worth what they're going to pay you. So everybody will say he's not worth $60 million. He's worth it if they gave it to him, folks. And so football, opening week, everybody think they're going to the Super Bowl. Some teams are going to be happy at the end of the day. Some are going to be sad because they start 0-1 and they're going to think the world is over. So for all of you Dan Orlovsky, Shady McCoys, all of you people that don't like Rain Dakota, deal with it. He's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
The funniest thing I think about with Dak's deal, They saved, I think, about $30 million by signing him to an extension on this year's cap.
Yes.
And also, when you think about Dak, is him signing a 4-year deal is genius on his part. He'll be 33, 34 years old, and he'll be primed for another contract if he wins. So I think he's a smart, shrewd young man. And basically in 3-4 years, $60 million is not going to be a lot for a quarterback.
Right. So in all these interviews where all these shows was talking about Dak's contract, well, guess what? They're scrambling because in 15 minutes they got to go live. And that Troy Aikman interview with Dak Prescott, when he was asking Dak Prescott if he was mad about his contract situation, It's null and void right now. So I'm glad it's done. I'm glad there won't be a distraction. Um, and so I like the Cowboys. And you know what? Darn it, man. There was a rookie that we forgot to talk about that I'm really interested in
We
seeing.
still got one more game.
I know, but I just thought about this in my mind. So if you guys will allow me, watch Rome Aduze in that Chicago game today. Because everybody's going to be concentrating on DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, and Aduze is going to be in the slot, man. And I think he's going to rack up big numbers in his first.
Does he remind you of JSN?
Now be careful, man, because you know how I like JSN. Even though I'm a Michigan and he's a Buckeye. Listen, man, don't start your stuff this early in the season, man. Cut it out. But I like Dallas in a close one. I like Brandon Aubrey to kick us a game.
Shanita about to get you.
27-24.
Yeah, we gonna move on from Dallas, Shanita.
We've moved on.
49ers, Jets.
49ers, big. 49ers, big. Trent Williams is back. Brandon Ayuk is happy. Christian McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy, he's going to be the next one. Like, everybody talking about Dak ain't worth 60, right? But Brock Purdy going to get like 65. Do you think he worth that? Okay. This is a league where next man up is going to get paid. This Super Bowl or bust for Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers. They've been knocking on the door of a championship. They have not broken that door down. This is a Super Bowl or bust year. Hey, man, Aaron Rodgers, year 2 with the Jets. Year 1 only lasted 4 plays. They have a player I love in Brees Holmes. Here's a little tidbit for people. I put a little picture of a little guy from about 1982 on my Facebook page with a Dallas Cowboy logo. That would be me. That would be Dwayne Lamont Morris. But before DirecTV, before you have the ability to watch your team, I always watched the Jets. I was a big number 24 Freeman McNeil fan. So though I'm a huge Cowboy fan, the Jets always have a special place in my heart. But I think they're going to be heartbroken with Aaron Rodgers just like they were with Brett Favre, man. And I don't trust Robert Saleh as their coach. They're going to have a hell of a defense. They got Breece Hall. They got Garrett Wilson. They got all these weapons. We're going to see what A.A. Rod is. Somebody says he's a bad man. So let's see. But I don't like him against the 49ers.
I'm going to pick the Jets.
Oh.
And I'm going to pick the Jets because I think the 49ers are going to struggle. Big boys back. We know Trent Williams probably the best lineman in football at 35 years of age. But I'm going to pick them because I know that Ayuk and Trent haven't been there the whole training camp. And I do think that we're going to start seeing chinks in the armor of the 49ers. They haven't won, and they've been the superior team in the NFC. So eventually, they don't have Greenlaw. So I think I'm going to pick the Jets. I think the Jets are loaded. I think the Jets have more pressure on them than any other NFL team. And I think Aaron Rodgers, with his weirdness that people say, he's allowed to take pressure off of that team. I think most people don't realize how good of a defense they have. They match up well. This is basically the people coming back to play against the student, the teacher. We don't know Robert Saleh coached under Coach Shanahan. So it's going to be interesting. I just think the Jets, because of the 49ers' inability in the preseason to have all their guys, I think the Jets is going to kind of pick them off. And usually the 49ers, if you know them, they usually get strong and start building their team around week 4, week 5, and then they just roll. But I'm going to pick the Jets because I do think, like Shanita said, I think that Aaron Rodgers he'll be the stable force on their offense. I think we're going to see Hall. A lot of people don't know how good Bryce Hall is. Premier running back in the NFL, you guys. One of the premier guys. I'm talking about special. And not only that, his backup is special. And his backup, especially the Jets, are loaded on offense with the skill positions because nobody in their team is getting a lot of money. A lot of rookie deals. I think Quinnen Williams is still on his rookie deal, right, Dwayne?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Well, no, no, no,
Quinnen
no, no,
Williams.
no, no,
No, he
no.
just got paid, but Sauce is still on his rookie deal.
no.
Aaron Rodgers helped him save a whole bunch of money last year by reworking his deal. So I'm gonna pick the Jets.
Hey, I will say this, man, because I got people commenting on my Dak Prescott post from 2 hours ago. Got people saying, here y'all go again with him. So here's something I'm gonna do for y'all. I'm gonna do this only for the Let's Talk 2 audience. My brother Q, my sister Shanita, who I really appreciate you, Shanita. You know, never talked to you in person, but I'm rooting for you in life. Seriously, I just wanted to say that. But here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, here we go. 4 is in the phone, baby.
With that, you guys have a
I'm
great.
a ride Dak Prescott like 4 flats on a Cadillac, baby.